So I think I'm finally gonna shoot another YouTube video. This has been What's going on, you guys? It is your boy Dio here. For those of you guys who do not know me, I am a lifestyle growth mindset and productivity digital creator. I also sometimes throw on some fits on the gram, but I really wanted to hop on here and create a video for you guys for 2022 so that you can start this year off the right way. I feel like 2021 was really monumental for me. I was able to grow tremendously. I mean, I started a new job. I started working from home. I was able to grow on social media tremendously. And I feel like that all attests to sort of the way that I manifested for my year to go, sort of the way that I prayed for it to go. So there's a lot of growth mindsets that I had to develop. There's a lot of habits that I had to develop. And I feel like it's a great opportunity to just bring this to you guys, let you guys have a reference video, because I get asked a ton of these questions in my DMs on a daily basis. So we'll go ahead and sort of just talk about some of the life hacks, the habits, and sort of some of the things that you should do going into 2021 to really make your year a great year. So let's go. All right, so I figured we'd switch up the angle a little bit here. Let me know how you guys like this. I actually plan on making this sort of the way that I lay out these YouTube videos. I want to have like a little bit of a podcast series. I create a lot of these TikToks and you guys don't really get to know who the person is behind it. So this is going to be cool. As you know from the title of this video, we're basically going to be talking about ways that you can substantially grow in 2022 in efforts that allowed me to grow in 2021. Building a routine. Listen, I promise you guys, building a routine is so important. It's really what allowed me to be able to create and work full time. It's been really tough trying to balance everything, but having a routine and a way that I go about doing all of it allowed me to really be able to bring it all together. I mean, I work 9 to 5, but I really work like 50 to 60 hours a week. And I was also able to create full time. So I feel like the reason why I was able to do that is because I had a routine. So my routine specifically was simply waking up earlier. So I feel like a lot of times when you wake up earlier, you're able to get more done because by the middle of the afternoon, you've already basically gotten done what you would have gotten done in an entire day. There were days where I was waking up at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. for me didn't really work out. That's just too early to wake up every single day. You're gonna get burnt out and eventually there's gonna be days where you need more sleep. And I think there's nothing wrong with allowing yourself to have more rest. But waking up earlier in general, if you wake up at 9, trying to wake up at 8, then trying to wake up at 7. I think personally 6:30 is a really good time. Doesn't matter if you go to bed at 10 or if you go to bed at 12, you're still getting the recommended amount of hours to sleep. And also going to the gym or working out, being active in general, whether it's going on a run, going on a walk, going on a jog, hitting the actual gym. I really try and get my body moving because I feel like when you allow your body to release that stress first thing in the morning, you just feel energized. You just feel ready to really combat whatever you're going into. So I've found that the days where I was the most productive was when I was starting off in the gym. Inside of that routine, you should also have something around the lines of like a skincare routine or a health regimen. For me, I like to take vitamins every single day. I take vitamins by Persona Nutrition. If you follow me, you already know this. It's the one that has my name on the pack. I do have an affiliate link in the bio. Disclaimer, it is an affiliate link, so I do receive a small commission off of it, but I really recommend you guys check it out. It's important to have your nutrition be to par in 2022. So make sure it's manageable. Building a manageable routine is what's important, and you can sort of change things throughout the day, and you can sort of change things throughout the weeks, throughout the days, throughout the months. You don't need it to be to the T. It just needs to have some kind of structure to it, so you have more structure and organization to your life, aka your mind. Start your days with intention. Every single day, I started it with intention. I knew that I had a primary goal that I wanted to achieve throughout the day. And it's not even just your days that you want to start with intention. It's your months, it's your weeks. You want to start each period with intention. I'm really not the type to say, I'm going to focus on this tomorrow. But at the same time, if tomorrow is the day that we're going to focus on it, then let's actually make sure that tomorrow is the day it happens. And that brings me to number 2, eliminating stress. In the beginning of the year, I was just so stressed out. Work was stressful. It was just hard to balance things. I felt like everything was just going so fast paced. And that's when I realized I really need to get organized because that was the only way that I was going to not feel like I was going crazy in my head trying to do 50 things at once. So eliminate stress in whatever way it is, whether it's setting a budgeting goal. So for me, I know that money is something that I stress about because I set a strict budget for myself. And when I go over that budget, I'm pretty mad at myself because I have a really strong saving goal. I have a financial goal that I'm hoping to meet in order to start new business ventures. So it's really important to set yourself a budgeting goal, a financial goal, because money is something that everyone stresses about. Whether it's you're stressing you're going to be able to pay your bills, or you're stressing that you're spending too much money, or you're stressing that you don't know how much money you have, money is something that we all stress about as a human being. So it's really important to start focusing on your budgeting. For me personally, I like to jot out every single expense that I have throughout the month. I'm talking haircuts, I'm talking like $5 Apple Music. It doesn't matter. If it's an expense, I'm gonna make sure that I write it down, because I wanna know exactly how much I'm spending each month. So I know how much I need to make and how much I need to set aside. And I know how much I have to free spend with. Regardless of how much money you make, you can make 3 times the amount of what you actually have to pay monthly. You should still know how much you have and how much you're spending, so it makes more sense to you. And that brings me to number 3, setting up a financial goal. For me, I had a financial goal and I hit it, I crushed it. In fact, I actually doubled my financial goal, and that's all due to the grace of God. Being able to monetize digitally has helped me out a ton. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity. Like, I think you guys fuck with me, and I appreciate that. So I really, really, really recommend you guys set a financial goal. It also allows you to feel motivated because you have something that you're working towards. So whether it's that you wanted to waste $500 on a pair of sneakers that you couldn't get for retail because some damn bots are out here getting you, well, now you have something that you're working towards, and it allows you to be financially conscious and more financially literate. Number 3, taking risks. 2021, I took so many risks. I mean, moving to Philly, I live in a pretty expensive apartment. My expenses are sort of wild. Like, my expenses are wild, and I don't even want to talk about it. My expenses are wild. But, moving to Philly for me, I knew was going to be sort of interesting because I had enough money to move here, and I knew that I was going to be making enough monthly, but I was only going to have a certain amount left over each month. And I put myself inside of a financial uncomfortability. And the reason why I did that is because I knew that it would push me out of my comfort zone. It's important to make sure that you are making yourself uncomfortable in a healthy way, though. Like, I feel like for me, when I'm in an uncomfortable situation, it forces me to find that new comfortability. So I really didn't plan to monetize digitally. I was really planning to get into real estate, do more business ventures. I have other knowledge to drop that you guys don't know about me in terms of business ventures that I've been doing since I was 16. And I have other ways of making and earning money. I didn't really get to venture out into it as much as I wanted to because, like I said, I work full time, and I've been sort of creating full time as well. So I'm excited about what 2022 is going to look like when it comes to finally going back to that. But having a financial goal is really important because it allows you to want to open your mind to new ways to make money. It also allows you not to waste your time and not to settle with things that aren't bringing money into your pocket. If I feel like something is a negative asset, I'm not even going to mess with it. I'm not even going to touch it. And that goes with people too. If you feel like certain people in your life are literally a financial drain all the time to go against your goals, well, now you know that you have to cut back a little bit. And it sort of allows you to restrain in a healthy way that allows you to maneuver forward. I'm just thinking about the fact that I made so many risks. Like, I bought a new camera. I bought a $4,000 camera, and I'm talking about the camera and the lens. And I did that in the earlier parts of 2021. And the reason why I did that was because I knew that when I had something that was more expensive, I was going to be more hungry to work with more clients. So if you don't know, I'm a photographer on the side. I recently had to stop taking clients just because I've been too busy to accept clients. And that's really a blessing. But at the same time, it's crazy to think that I worked so hard to get there. And when I got there, I actually didn't even need that blessing anymore. So anyways, I digress. When I took that risk of buying that new camera and lens, I knew that it was going to put me in a position to create better content for my clients. I knew it was going to put me in a better position to want to actually make more because I had to make that return on investment. Like, if I didn't make that return on investment, it was going to eat me alive. So I put myself in uncomfortable situations so that I can find my new comfortable, which is always going to be growth. And that brings me to number 4, believing in yourself. I know that it can be really hard to sort of believe in yourself with anything that's new, anything that you feel like is out of your reach, especially because we're sort of trained to want to go with more comfortable situations. You have to be your biggest supporter. You have to be your biggest rooter in all situations. I had some people that tried to tell me that things that I was going to get into wouldn't work out for me. And it's really hard to sometimes fight against those negative talks. Sometimes those people that try and gaslight you and things like that. Sometimes it's really hard, but you really have to really push yourself and know that anything I put my mind to, I can. Like, I just started writing things down, and I started making sure that rather than focusing on how far I was from tomorrow, I started thinking about how far I've come from yesterday. And number 5, educate yourself. Now, I know that this probably sounds so obvious, but truly, I mean, have you actually been educating yourself on something that you're trying to get into? I mean, for me specifically, let's say if, for example, I was trying to grow on a certain platform, I'd start looking at my analytics. I'd start looking at what did people like? I mean, I started to read the comments. I started to see what worked and what didn't work. Things as simple as that. But I mean, educate yourself also by reading books. I really think it's important to read and educate yourself. Listen to podcasts. Some of my favorite podcasts are the Growth Mindset Habits. Right now, I'm rereading the Self-Awareness book by Harvard Business Review. Highly recommend you guys check that book out. It really does teach you a lot about how you're perceived versus how you perceive yourself in any kind of professional environment. And now my last and final tip is to seclude yourself. Now I know that this sounds weird because you're like, why would I want to be away from people? But I promise you, when you are more to yourself, you can finally start to understand your own thoughts. You can finally start to understand yourself without any kind of judgment or any kind of clouding of judgment. So I really felt like me moving to Philly was important because I needed to not be inside of my same exact environment. I needed to change things up. I needed things to be different for me so that I can find my new comfortability. I know I keep talking about finding your new comfortable, but I promise you that putting yourself in uncomfortable situations is so key to being able to level yourself up in life. And you know what's crazy is I never thought that I would have been the type to be able to do that because I was such an extrovert. Like, to give you a little bit of background of what I did for work before, I used to work inside of the retail store as a sales executive, and I was talking to customers nonstop. I'm talking to them on the phone, talking to them at night, talking to them during the day. I mean, I had all kinds of customers, a wide variety of customers, a wide variety of characteristics, a wide variety of customer traits and people traits that I had to deal with. And I loved that though. Like I really liked being around so many people. I also liked being around my friends a lot. But then I realized that the more time I had to myself, the more time I had to think, the more time I had to really be able to understand me more so that I can understand what I want more and actually be able to push towards what I want for myself in a much greater effort. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think that anyone should ever self-isolate themselves. You should definitely make sure that you have friends, make sure you have a support group. But I think that it's important to know when you can say no. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go out every single time your friends ask you to go out. You don't have to be in a social setting every single time, by all means. I mean, I feel like a lot of my growth came because I was bored, I guess you can say. Like, when you're bored, that's not a bad thing. That just means that you have more that you could be doing in order to while your time. To talk about something that I need to change in 2022, and that's to remember that I'm not perfect. Like I said earlier, I'm not a robot. I'm not a supersonic person. Like, I am a regular human being. To remember that, like I was saying earlier, every single day is a new day to have a better result most of the time. So that's everything that I have for today. I really wanted to make this sort of quick and short. So if you liked what you heard today, make sure that you guys go ahead and subscribe. I plan on doing some more like this. I'm also going to be bringing some more vlogs. I know that you guys have also requested the apartment tour, so that's going to be coming soon. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you guys go ahead, subscribe, comment down below if you want to see more videos like this or whatever else you guys would like to see from me. And once again, it's your boy Dio. This is The Real Dio, and we are over and out.